Hello beauties, welcome back to the vlog. This week we are talking about taking risks and not being afraid to fail, although failure is an inevitable thing in some of our risks, right? We're going to learn more about that. We're talking today about taking small bets, or you may see this as low risk bets, little bets. I've seen it called a number of different things. But what this means is trying something that has a low financial risk and a low risk to a project or to a team, your family, whichever group you're in. Something that's small that you can test and see. But you do a lot of little bets all at the same time, and this is really key. So a big bet might be what Silicon Valley does, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow, where they see an idea, they want to go big, they invest in something that is before it's succeeded, maybe even before it has customers, an idea, technology platform, and then hope that it really pays off. A small bet is something more like testing something. Like I saw a speech from Will Ferrell recently where he said he tried lots of different things. He went to different comedy clubs and tried different ideas. He went to classes. He tried out small jokes on his friends at, intimate dinner parties, really testing different ways to do things until he got a routine that he felt was good. So let's talk about why we don't take small bets and how we can go forward on that. I think that we get really nervous about something going wrong. And we become scared that because it's maybe not going to go perfectly, and let's be honest, if you're trying something new, things are going to go wrong, right? That we get nervous and we tend to focus on what we might lose. And I had a mentor many years ago who said, you can't lose something you don't have. You can't lose something you don't have, right? So trying is a big deal. We also exaggerate the consequences of what might go wrong. So not only do we say, well, something's going to go wrong and I'm too afraid because we want to be perfect, but we also say, well, it's going to go wrong in this really huge way. And we exaggerate and we think of the worst case scenario. When the truth is that maybe if we want to try a new design platform, or we want to try a new reporting tool, something that might be, let's say, $100 investment a month, that's fairly low risk for us to not have it go well, right? As opposed to something where we're going to have a big investment up front, lots of training, lots of time, lots of transition for that not to work. So a big risk is what we're doing as we switch our company from services to product plus services, which we're doing here. But a small risk or a small bet might be trying a new tool, trying a new process, joining a new organization that gives us feedback, going through, bringing in a consultant to look at something. Those are small bets. So we also underestimate our ability to respond when things go wrong. So first, the reason we don't take risk is first we think things are going to go wrong. Then we think it's going to be the worst possible path to how it goes wrong. Then we think, and I'm never going to be able to deal with it when it goes wrong. But this is actually what builds character and helps us become much better in our jobs and our relationships and how we learn and improve. If we never try something and then we never fail, we're not really growing. And I've talked a lot about that this year on this vlog, is that I believe that you've got to be learning continually, that you have to be growing. Otherwise, what are we doing? I'm just going to be in the same place I was in before. And I think you are more resilient than you give yourself credit for. And then the other thing is that we don't consider, and I think this is a big one, we don't consider what happens if we don't act, if we don't change. So a great example of this is Blockbuster. Blockbuster Video saw Netflix coming. They saw Redbox coming, and they didn't act because they didn't know how, I don't know if they didn't know how to navigate. I've seen some interviews after the fact. The bulk of their money came from people at the checkout stand in Blockbuster Video, for those who remember. You buy candy and popcorn and maybe buy some movies on your way out, and that was where a lot of their profitability came from. They could have gone to mail order videos and like they have now streaming videos, but they were so committed to their existing revenue model, their existing business model, that even though they saw change coming, even though they knew they needed to change, they didn't consider what would happen by not acting and not changing. And I think that's the biggest risk that we take of all, is that if you don't look at what it means to stay in the same place, you're not going to be able to see some of the things that happen coming in the future for you. So some questions for you to ask as we go through this is, what would I do? What can I do to be more courageous? How can I push myself to have a little bit of courage to try a little bit? What will staying in the status quo do for us? How will that affect you? What's the cost of inaction? And where is my fear of failure causing me to exaggerate the what ifs? So think about those things. We're going to talk more about big bets, large bets tomorrow. We've got Thank You Thursday, and then we'll wrap it up on Friday. See you then.